Having worked on disaster issues in the mountains for 17 years now, I knew what a glacial lake outburst flood, or a GLOF, was, but never expected to see one so close up in my lifetime. So when I was woken up at 2:22 a.m. on 4th October 2023 with the news that there had been a GLOF at South Lonak Glacier, North Sikkim, my reaction was simply disbelief. I tried phoning some friends, but at that unearthly time, getting any reply was difficult. Finally, I got through to someone connected with disaster management at Mangan, which is the district headquarters of North Sikkim, but he too had not heard anything about the GLOF. It was only later, when the GLOF rapidly tore down the Teesta Valley, that one became aware that there was something humongous and terrible happening in our region. What we, people living in the Teesta Valley in parts of Sikkim and Kalimpong district of West Bengal, witnessed in the early hours of 4th October 2023 was a rare, dangerous and a huge catastrophe, with the GLOF from South Lonak Glacier, a massive dam breach at Chungthang, and subsequent floods causing loss of lives, livelihoods, a huge damage to infrastructure and communication lines, and devastating large areas of the valley. The size and scale of the event has thus far escaped the attention of both the national and concerned state governments, and it has been totally underreported by the mainstream media, probably because the disaster was confined to a narrow strip along the Teesta Valley, and also since fatalities were in hundreds and not in thousands. As such, even people living in the urban settings of the Darjeeling Sikkim Himalaya, in places like Kalimpong, Darjeeling and Gangtok, are blissfully unaware of the disaster. I am Praful Rao of SaveTheHills, a small Kalimpong-based NGO, and we have been documenting most of the major landslide and disaster events in the Darjeeling Sikkim region in our blog for many years now. As soon as I heard about the GLOF, I decided to make a photographic record of the event. But why a photo essay? Simply because a photograph captures the moment, which can be preserved even when things change and memory fades. It serves as a powerful historical reminder of what happened. For those who have not read the blog, this presentation is a record of the impact lest we forget. So let me start this presentation with a map of the area where it all happened. This is the Teesta Valley. The Teesta River runs almost north to south from Sikkim into West Bengal and further down into Bangladesh. The South Lonak Glacier is here at about 17,300 feet. Downstream about 62 to 70 kilometers is Chungthang at 5,500 feet. And this map, this insert here, shows the river gradient from the glacier to the hydroelectric power project located at Chungthang, the stage 3 Sikkim Urja Dam, which was destroyed by the GLOF. The drop, you can see, is from 17,000 feet to about 5,500 feet, a gradient of almost 12,000 feet in the 60 to 70 kilometers that the river descended. The next place here is Dikshu, which is further downstream, where there was another major dam which was very badly damaged. And then further on into Singtam, which is the major business hub of Sikkim, and then of course Rampu, which is here, which is located partly in West Bengal and partly in Sikkim. And then from Rampu southwards is all areas in West Bengal which were affected. The red circles are the areas which we visited during our 1 month odd survey of the GLOF affected areas. The timeline is here. What we know certainly is that the alerts were sent from Lachen to Chungtang at around, the first alerts were around 11 o'clock, and the civil authorities, etc., were in Chungtang were alerted between 11 to 11:30 a.m. on the 3rd of October. Going backwards, there was an ITBP post somewhere around here called Janak Post. Those people had sent alerts, most probably on satellite phone, both to Lachen and to Chungtang earlier. And going backwards, we think that the GLOF must have started at around 10 or even earlier than that, 10 p.m. on the 3rd of October 2023. The last alert at Chungtang was received at around midnight. Thereafter, alerts from Lachen stopped, and the GLOF hit Chungtang at 12:30 a.m. on the 4th of October. Thereafter, the GLOF traveled swiftly down and it hit Singtam here at around 3 a.m. and then it reached Teesta Bazaar, which is here, at 4 a.m. We have enumerated 14 odd points here, places here with the red circles where we visited, and all these, the photo essays on all these places are listed in our blog. Gangtok is here, which is the capital of Sikkim. Mangan is here. This is the capital of North Sikkim. Gangtok, as you can see, is significantly far away from Teesta River to have witnessed anything about the GLOF. Kalimpong is closer here, and from my home here in Kalimpong, I can distinctly hear the Teesta River, the roar of the Teesta River when there's either a heavy rainfall event in the mountains, or in this case, the GLOF. Moving on, this is a picture of the Teesta River from the bridge, taken with a drone on the day that it happened. Slightly later, the most ferocious time was perhaps around 5:30 to 6 o'clock when the Teesta River, the GLOF hit the Teesta Bazaar in just below Kalimpong. This is about just about 15 kilometers from Kalimpong down the hill. It takes about 40 minutes from Kalimpong to reach this place. The Teesta River is flowing from north to south. This is the bridge from where the drone photograph was taken. As you can see, the Teesta River has now expanded to the full width of the valley, and parts of the Teesta Bazaar here are already underwater. This is the road leading to Darjeeling, which goes further up here like this, but the road had already been submerged somewhere here. A fantastic photograph of the GLOF taken by a young photographer, a drone photograph. One of the things which has been misreported, I should say, by the press is that there was a cloudburst over Sikkim, North Sikkim, which triggered the GLOF. I have severe doubts about this because we track in Save the Hills, we do track rainfall activity, especially during the monsoons, very, very closely. And these are cloud images, satellite IR images, infrared images from IMET, which show the clouds which were around from 12:45 p.m. on the 3rd of October. As you can see, most of the clouding is towards Kalimpong and Darjeeling, and the rainfall activity also shows the intensity, the amount of rainfall received. Kalimpong received 147 millimeters on 3rd of October. Darjeeling received 120 millimeters of rainfall. But further up, if you go towards the northern latitudes where the glacier was and towards North Sikkim, you'll see that the rainfall has petered off and is not much. Further up, also further on, to mention that the glacier is located at 17,300 feet, and the chances of heavy rain there is less. I think if at all there's anything, it would be snowfall rather than rain as a way of precipitation. So what triggered the GLOF is perhaps a massive avalanche or a landslide, which is most probably the cause of the moraine breach at Lonak Glacier, which then allowed about 30 million cubic meters of water to come out of the lake in the form of a GLOF. And this, of course, are the satellite pictures of the South Lonak Lake. 162.7 hectares of water in the black area, as shown on the 17th of September 2023, which reduces to 60 hectares of water on the 4th of October after the GLOF. So approximately 100 odd hectares of water have leaked out, which I said, as scientists point out, it translates to about 30 million cubic meters of water rushing down in that gradient to reach Chungtang, firstly to reach past Lachen and then go towards Chungtang. So getting on to the impact on human lives, one of the reasons why the GLOF disaster in the Teesta Valley received less attention was that the loss of life was not in the thousands as it may well have been. As far as we know, the fatalities were less than 200, with around 14 people being killed in the West Bengal area. Most of these people died at Rampur in West Bengal. The reason is that it was not a great state-of-art GLOF early warning system which worked. In fact, there was none. There was an automatic weather station which was installed by the NDMA and the Swiss team, which also failed to work. But it was just that the cell phone system worked throughout, from the 3rd till the 4th till later on, in the entire Teesta Valley. And it was just that communities alerted each other. A brother alerted a sister, a family friend alerted somebody from towards the south, and therefore the low-lying areas, the downstream areas, were alerted on simply by people alerting each other. And it was not any major technical marvel which worked. And all this happened in pitch dark and when it was raining in the entire Teesta Valley. Both the Sikkim and the West Bengal police played a marvelous role in saving lives, as did the armed forces, also in evacuating people who were trapped later. So, but still, having said that, the fatalities may actually be more than the 200 people or so reported, because there were many private operators, private contractors who had their manpower all over the Teesta Valley on the banks of the Teesta River. And when we went and checked with various people, they were saying 2 people died here, 3 people died here, and that sort of death may not be accounted for or listed in the 200 people who died. So the next thing which we'd like to show is that the impact at Chungtang. Chungtang was the first major town, or not exactly a city, which was hit and devastated by the GLOF. As I said, the GLOF hit Chungtang at around 12:30 on 4th October. And Chungtang is located at the confluence of 2 rivers, the Lachen Chu, which is also the Teesta River, called the Teesta River, and this is down which the GLOF came down from South Lonak Glacier up here. Lachen is a small town, which is located 29 kilometers upstream, but is inaccessible even now. This is Chungtang town, and it grew with the dam coming up. Earlier it was just a village, now it is definitely a town, and also was a tourist hub. This river here is the Lachung Chu and leads towards Lachung. The GLOF came down this river, the Lachen Chu, and impacted this area, and you can see that this is almost a funnel type of shape which hit the dam. After hitting the dam, the river was pushed back into this area. So you can see that there was a large amount of damage all along this area, and also going into Lachung Chu, even though there was no GLOF here. So the red areas are the areas which have been damaged. There's a bridge, a major double-lane bridge, concrete bridge, which collapsed during that night. Of course, the dam, the Sikkim Urja or the stage 3 was destroyed on that night. This was the administrative block of the Sikkim Urja dam, which was totally washed away. A bridge was destroyed here towards Lachung. A bridge was destroyed here also. So in this picture itself, there are 3 major bridges which were destroyed. And the route towards Lachung ceases to exist beyond this. At that point of time when we visited, there was no road beyond this. This is on the 17th and 18th and 19th of November 2023. The road further up towards Lachen is still not available. So the entire army complex towards North Sikkim is being maintained by air even now. We will see in the next few slides the impact on the ground. This is a Google image which shows the Chungtang town at the confluence of these 2 rivers and the dam as it was some time back. This is a picture of the area which was north of Chungtang, which was not at all affected by the dam. The dam added approximately 5 million cubic meters of water when it burst to the water which came rushing down this area. But this is the area which was north of, in fact, north of this area which is far away from the dam and was not affected by the dam bursting. So you can see the volume of water which has come down and which has scoured the entire area north of Chungtang. Large areas, forested areas here have disappeared. The road to Lachen is through this area. There was a bridge which was here, which was destroyed. A lot of hydroelectric power pylons have been destroyed here along this route. And the road beyond this is not at all existing even now. So this is the road, this is the area which was impacted only by the GLOF during the 3rd and the 4th of October early morning. This is a drone image of the dam, the Sikkim Urja dam, the Teesta stage 3 as on 17th and 18th of November. You can see Chungtang town here. This is Lachung Chu. Lachen Chu is further like this. This is an ITBP camp beyond which the road ceased to exist at that point of time. You can see that there's a lot of damage here. This was all green. This is all a greenery area of Chungtang town where there was a park, there were schools, there was a large stadium here where the army also had a big workshop, etc. Everything got washed away during the GLOF. The only areas which remained, which are still green, were in the higher reaches. This is where the people evacuated during the night at around after 12:30 or earlier than that, maybe, when they heard that there was some major river event coming down this way. So this is the dam which was destroyed. This is a drone image, and this is the Teesta River which we saw when we visited this area around the 17th and 18th. Again, a picture of Chungtang town. Here you can see a close-up. This is again a drone image. This is the stadium where there was an army camp. The people used to have all their football matches, etc. here in this area. This is Chungtang town, which has now been totally obliterated with stones and mud, and people were just evacuating, excavating their belongings from the time that the GLOF hit them. And the access to Chungtang town, there was a double-lane bridge across the Teesta River, which was washed away. There are 2 small bamboo bridges which were constructed. And just before we reached, that is on the 16th of November, the army had constructed a Bailey bridge across this, through which we could comfortably drive through. But there are restrictions on the load as well as the number of vehicles which can go through that. Further up here, this is the area which was affected totally by the GLOF, and all these hydroelectric power pylons have suffered some sort of a damage in this area. This is a close-up taken from across the river of Chungthang town. As you can see, huge buildings have come up there, and it was a major town in North Sikkim, but which has been totally, affected by the GLOF. All you can see is machines here, earth-moving machines, which are pulling out this rubble and sludge and sand, and these huge boulders which have been rolled into the center of town. This is Chungthang town on the 17th and 18th of November. Again, a picture of Chungthang town, and this is a Gurudwara which is here. There is a strong connection between Guru Nanak. He is reputed to have visited this area on his way to Tibet. This is the Guru Nanak Lama Sahib Gurudwara, which the people of which did a marvelous job during the catastrophe, and we stayed in this Gurudwara. They were the GLOF actually went and invaded the ground floor of this Gurudwara. The people evacuated on the night of 3rd and 4th early morning, but they quickly came back. About 12 people were working in this Gurudwara, and they served about 50,000 meals to the people of Chungthang. When we reached there, there were approximately about 70 odd people still staying in the Gurudwara, people who had no homes, because all these homes are no longer livable. So people from all these areas had moved into the Gurudwara, and they were staying there. And the people were still, the Gurudwara people were still dispensing about 5,000 to 6,000 meals a day during the time that we visited there. Impact on dams and the power stations. This is a map of the Teesta River and a close-up of the areas of the dams and power stations which were affected. Chungthang is here, Lachen Chu is this, and Lachung Chu goes towards the right. The Sikkim Urja Dam, the stage 3, was of course destroyed, the 1,200. The largest run-of-the-river dam was destroyed on the 4th. Nobody knows exact timing when the dam collapsed or the bridge collapsed, because there was so much of noise and chaos during that time. But people only came to know that the dam was gone and the bridge was gone in the next morning, when they woke up and found that the river was roaring down there across their town. Much of the town was affected, and actually, even though people say the dam was destroyed at so and so time, I've talked to people in Chungthang, and nobody seems to know that it must have collapsed sometime late in the early morning hours of 4th, but not a precise timing is available. There were also fatalities here in the Sikkim Urja Dam during that time, but mercifully most of the people from Chungthang had already moved up to higher areas, and the fatalities were limited in all these areas. The power station of the stage 3 Sikkim Urja Dam is located further down, much further down, very close to a place called Sankalan. The place is called Singik, and we will be showing you pictures of that. And then further down is Dikchu Dam, which is here, which was over-toppled, as the term is, with the NHPC. That means the dam was covered by the river during the 4th of October, when the GLOF reached the Dikchu Dam. This is stage 5 dam. The power station of the stage 5 dam is further down. Gangtok is here, is further down here, and it is located very close to Singtam. Along with the stage 5 power station, there is the stage 6 NHPC dam, the 500 megawatt power station, which is being built. The Dikchu dam is 510 megawatts. So the stage 6 dam is being built here. The power station of the stage 6 dam is further downstream, These are all run-of-the-river dams, so the power stations are located at different places. The stage 6 power station is located at a place called Tarkhola, which is further downstream, close to Malli Bazar. Further down is the Teesta Low Dam project, 132 megawatt project, which was to an extent not exactly damaged but covered with sludge, etc., and was not operative when we visited the area. It was covered with sludge. The pondage area has now been the sand has the level of the river has gone up there. So, and any attempt to run this dam will involve increasing the water in the pondage area. And what I would like to point out is that throughout these areas, the level of the river has increased by 3 to 4 meters. 3 to 4 meters of sand have been deposited here. The level of the river is now much higher, and therefore any attempt to run this dam will increase the pondage here and go towards the Teesta Bazar, which is here, and parts of Teesta Bazar will be submerged, as will the road to Darjeeling. The road to Darjeeling is now almost at the same level as the Teesta River, and that will be covered if this dam starts working. The only dam which seems to be working in this area is the Teesta TLDP4, which is at Kalijoda. This is a picture of the administrative area of the stage 3 at Chungtang. The entire administrative block, including the residence of the GM, etc., was located in this area and has been totally washed away by the GLOF. Luckily, people had evacuated. There were no casualties here, even though in the dam itself there were casualties. There were people who were rescued from the dam the next day. Picture of the administrative complex of the Sikkim Urja Dam at Chungtang. This is, of course, the dam from Chungtang town. You can see the level of devastation which has taken place, and you can see that the entire valley has been scoured by the water which rushed through this area. Within that short time, the water level started decreasing within about 12 to 24 hours, certainly. And all this happened during that time. So you can see the viciousness with which the water must have rushed past this, and how this big boulder has been placed here, the tremendous force of nature which took place at that time. This is the power station of the stage 3 Sikkim Urja Dam, which is at Singik. There was a major bridge here which collapsed, and obviously the power station also was affected. People were working here and they were going across this in a small pulley. So this is the power station of stage 3 Sikkim Urja Dam, which is located very close to Sankalan at Singik. This is, of course, a very powerful photograph which shows the level of the river and the Dikchu Dam as it stands. There were 4 sluice gates here, out of which you can see 1, 2, and 3 sluice gates here, all covered by debris and muck, which the river brought down. The dam itself also is further this side, which is also covered by a lot of debris. This dam was over-toppled, as they say, and as per the NHPC senior official who was interviewed, this dam will take at least a year to be rectified because certain components have been totally damaged. There were huge boulders which were rolled down this river and now lie very close to the base of the dam. All these pictures are available on our blog, by the way. This is a picture of the stage 5 power station, and this is at Balwatar in Singtam, further downstream. And as you can see, this area has also been very, very badly affected. by the GLOF. The entire area was covered by this sand and the water, and the deposition of this sand in every area that we've gone to is about 8 to 10 feet easily. And the river level, as I said, has gone up by about 3 to 4 meters. This is again the stage 5 dam power station at Balwatar, and various components of the dam which were damaged in that area. This is a stage 6 dam, which is again at very close to Singtam at a place called Sirwani. And as you can see, this area, this dam has been damaged. There was a bridge up here which was swept away, and has now parts of it lie on this side of the this dam. One fact of the GLOF was that millions of trees seem to have been washed away from the sides of the valley, and now lie like this. As the part of the along with the sand and the mud and the stones, one of the part of the thing which is which strikes you is the millions of trees which are all uprooted and lie. So we do not know what is the effect of the GLOF on the forestry of this area. So this is stage 6, which is under construction. This bridge now is this area from above the dam is being used to connect this area, okay, as parts of Sikkim. The bridge which was here, the KD, the Sikkim bridge which was here, has been washed away. This is a power station of the stage 6 dam, which was being built by the Patel Engineering Group and lies in Tarkhola. The GLOF hit this area badly. Again, there was a major bridge here which has collapsed, and this area suffered a damage to the tune of 200 crores. As you can see, many areas are submerged. Many vehicles also were washed away, and so on. This is the Patel Engineering area at the stage 6 power station, which was being constructed by in Tarkhola. And this is the last dam which we visited, and this is the TLDP-3, which is located at Nazok, or 27th mile. As you can see, there are a lot of debris here. On this side, you would see a lot of trees which are also been deposited here. And this dam was not working when we visited this area. Impact on bridges. Many of the bridges, there were apparently 14 odd bridges which were washed away, but we could see and visited and photographed about 10 bridges which were there. This is a bridge which linked Mangan with Chungthang, and the bridge was washed away on the 4th morning. There was a tiny bamboo bridge which is across here, which people were moving out. Because this bridge was washed away, we had to detour and take a long route, which was double the time that it took. We took about 3 hours from Sankalan to reach Chungthang, whereas along this road, it would take barely an hour. Right now, they have constructed a wooden bridge across this river somewhere here. So now this road is functional, and you can go from Mangan, which is the capital of North Sikkim, to Chungthang in about an hour. We had to detour and go via a longer route, which is a very precipitous and a very narrow route. That took us 2 hours. So the impact of these bridges being washed away is that a lot of the road has to now detour via long areas, and where one used to take things up within a certain time, the timings have now doubled. And when we were there, a truck to Mangan from Siliguri, which otherwise costed about 50 to 20,000, used to cost 40,000 ton, because Mangan was also, the roads were also affected. So that was the impact. This is the bridge which was across. This is at Tung. This area is at Tung in North Sikkim, and used to connect Mangan to Chungthang. This is a bridge at Sankalan, which was washed away. Another very critical bridge for both the defense as well as the people. Zongu is around here. Zongu was totally disconnected by this bridge which was washed away, and people had built this bamboo bridge across to ferry things across, to take people to hospital, etc. And now they are quickly trying to make another bridge in the exact place where the earlier bridge was washed away here. The army and the GLOF people are working here, the border roads people, constructing another bridge here. And this is what the army has done at that place. You can see the green cloth here. The bridge was here, which was washed away. The army has now built these two Bailey bridges across the Teesta River, which is now split into two parts. But we know that the first major storm or rainfall, heavy rainfall event, these bridges will be washed away again. So it's a race against time that the border roads has to make this bridge quickly enough before the major rain start, so that communication can be maintained with North Sikkim as well as Zongu, which is this entire area. This is in an area called Sankalan. Mangan, the capital of North Sikkim, is just above this on the left hand side. Okay, so we had to follow this route and go via the circuitous route, because the Mangan to Chungthang route was not available because of the bridge which was destroyed at Tung. This is the Indrayani bridge, so called because of the rainbow type of curve that this bridge had at Singtam. It linked Lal Bazar in Singtam with Adarsh Gaon here. It was washed away on the 4th of October. There were quite a few bridges around here which were washed away. And this is the bridge as it stands now. It is amazing the force of nature, that to have shifted iron girders the size of this, almost 200 meters downstream, just by the force of nature on that night. This is the bridge which was there at Tarkola, the NHPC bridge which was washed away. This used to link the West Bengal side, that is this side, with the Sikkim side, which is this side. The Patel Engineering Group had their complex here. This is the stage 6 power station which was being built here. People were evacuated here by the police, etc. And the several people that we interviewed here, they said, had it not been for the West Bengal police, at least 8 to 10 families would have lost their lives in this area. This is Tarkola, the NHPC bridge which was here, now gone. This is further up a bridge linking Zongu and towards Dikchu. This is a place called Fidang, badly affected tourist area, and the bridge linked Zongu with the Dikchu area. A bridge is gone here. This is the place where there was the double-lane concrete bridge linking Chungthang to the rest of Sikkim. This was destroyed along with the stage 3 dam early in the morning of 4th. Not precisely known when it was destroyed, but this bridge was destroyed. And this is where the army have built this Bailey bridge across this same spot, where vehicles can now go across, and the people of Chungthang are now again linked with vehicular traffic towards this side, the army bridge. This is a bridge at the Balwatar area, where the stage 5 power station is. Another bridge which was swept away. The NHPC has a huge complex here consisting of residential complexes of the offices here, and with the residential complexes here, schools, etc. The school was damaged very badly here, and several other installations were badly affected in this area. The NHPC, this is in Singtam, and NHPC had a big complex out here in this area. This is another bridge which was here, which was, as I said, linking the power station of the stage 3 Sikkim Urja Dam to this side, and that bridge was also destroyed. This is the stage 6 dam, and you can see the remnants of a bridge which is here. The LD Kazi bridge, as I didn't mention the earlier time, LD Kazi bridge, this is the remnants of that, which is built. Now the people are going across here on this dam itself. The stage 6 hydroelectric power project at Sirwani in Sikkim. Another bridge which was destroyed here. Impact on the roads. The roads are very badly impacted by the GLOF. This is the main NH10 in orange from Gangtok, which runs via Singtam, Rampur, and goes down to SaveTheHills Coronation Bridge here, and then goes to Siliguri. A vital lifeline for people in Sikkim as well as Kalimpong, NH10. From here onwards, the road runs along the Teesta Valley. From Singtam, the road branches off and goes towards Gangtok, and the Teesta River runs towards the left. The distance from Gangtok to Siliguri is 114 kilometers along this route and is the most preferred way of travel. During the GLOF, this entire area from Singtam towards Kalichoda was affected. This area was quickly restored, but the area between Teesta River and somewhere down here was continued to remain badly affected. The road from Kalimpong to Siliguri, from here to Siliguri along NH10 is 67 kilometers. But if this road gets blocked somehow, and there are numerous dams here, at least two major dams, TLDP4, Teesta Low Dam project is here, and Teesta Low Dam project 3 is here. And the presence of these dams have undoubtedly affected the serviceability and the condition of the roads here, even without the GLOF. So we were having problems here along this road. Earlier also, there was frequent landslides, etc. But now the GLOF has badly affected this area, and this area we have yet to see what will happen during the monsoons. From Kalimpong to Siliguri was just 67 kilometers. If this road was blocked, then we had to detour either through Kurseong, which was 99 kilometers, or go via Algada and then Lava, which is 132 kilometers. There's another smaller route which is here, Panbu, which is totally unsuitable for heavy vehicles, and smaller vehicles can travel. But then it's a very lonely, secluded road and may not be, cannot be used commercially. So the only route which is most convenient for us is this NH10, which runs along this, and it is very, very badly affected, especially in this area between Kalijhoda or TLDP3 and towards Teesta Bazar. This is a major landslide spot which was there here. It used to be very, very active when I was a small boy in Kalimpong. It is called Likubir, and the only area which used to be affecting road travel in this area along NH10 was to be Likubir. It was dormant for many, many years now. Many years the Likubir was silent, but Likubir has now been activated by this GLOF, and this is Likubir today. And the most of our maintenance problems of NH10 lie around this area. So the river has undercut the road bench, and we have yet to see the impact what will happen during the monsoons. Only light vehicles were allowed here on this route till 12th December. Then the truckers got together and had a strike and forced the district administration to open up, because it was difficult for them also to route via a very long detour, which would take both the road from Gangtok um, to Siliguri, which normally took 3 hours to maximum of 4 hours, used to take 8 hours or 7 hours. And the cost of things would also increase that way. A truck which would come to Kalimpong via NH10 would cost about 4,000 rupees, 4,000 to 5,000 rupees from Siliguri to Kalimpong, around that cost, but had gone up to 8,000 rupees because they had to detour via lava. So all these things were taking place. So the truckers went on a strike. So the district administration reluctantly opened up the NH10 for traffic for heavy vehicles. And of course, we do have lots of problems because the number of vehicles which travel up and down this NH10 from Sikkim, from Kalimpong district, etc., is easily about 3 to 4,000 vehicles. Much of the area has been undercut. We have yet to see the impact during the monsoons. This is the Darjeeling road, which was submerged by the GLOF, and it lay submerged for quite some time until now. So this is the level of the Teesta, which is almost the same level as the Darjeeling road. In fact, from somewhere here, you can lean over and touch the Teesta. So what has happened is that this Teesta river bed itself has gone up, and one of our requests was that a specialized team may kindly visit our area and see how the river is going to behave during the monsoons, because we do not know how the river is going. Somewhere here, there are a lot of populated areas also which are affected. The river is running too close to these populated areas, as with the areas in Malli, as with areas perhaps in Singtam and also in Rampu. So these are areas which are impacted by this river, and which now runs almost 3 to 4 meters above what it used to run. And many government officials or people who are unknowing of what happened have asked these people around here that why did you build your house so close to the river? And the people have answered by saying, no, we did not build our house close to the river. The river has now come up close to our house, which is correct. The houses which were far away from the river are now very close to the river. This is because of the GLOF. This is exactly what I mean by undercutting. The erosion takes place below the road, and parts of the road collapse into the river. And this is what we are saying is dangerous, because this will continue and increase during the monsoon period. And we would not know when a road ahead of us have collapsed, especially at night. So the NH10 driving during the monsoons would be a precarious job during peak monsoon area time, especially at night. This is what the road looks like. There's a tiny place where the GTA, the Gorkha Territorial Administration, has their COVID hospital. And this is what a road used to be, a nice small road used to go linking Teesta Bazaar to the COVID hospital. It was totally submerged. It is still submerged. And wherever it is submerged, the deposition of sludge, sand, etc. has been to the tune of 10 feet easily. And this is the road being excavated, the road to the COVID hospital at Tribeni, very close to Teesta. That road is still submerged under the Teesta river. As I mentioned, the road from Chungtang to Lachen does not exist, and this is where it stopped existing. This is a tiny village very close to the ITBP camp. The Teesta River is here, the Lachen Chu, which washed away this area. We hope that this area the road would be restored. There are some areas which are very, very precarious. People from Lachen are also trying to come towards the southern part, trying to build the road, and the border roads people are working from Chungtang towards Lachen, but still the road is non-existent. This is the impact of the GLOF at areas between Chungtang and Mangan. There are areas called Rikchu as well as Naga, and all this erosion took place on the 5th apparently. The GLOF took place on the 4th. Apparently it had scoured the areas at the bottom, at the toe of this mountain, and this entire subsidence took place on the 5th. This is as per local people. This is very, very badly affected. Now the road has been restored, but people in Chungtang, people in Mangan still say that we do not know what will happen to these areas during the monsoons. Very badly affected areas, multiple landslides, roads were written off in this area. A place called Naga and Richu, between Chungtang and Mangan, which is the capital of the district headquarters of North Sikkim. All these areas we put the coordinates so that you can see where these areas are on a map or a Google Earth, etc. So the other roads which were damaged was that, as we mentioned, the Darjeeling Kalimpong road is now at the same level as the Teesta River. We can almost touch the Teesta River from the road. The Tribeni road is still underwater. Sections of NH10 were badly affected both towards Gangtok and as well as towards the Siliguri area. Mangan Chungtang road was closed, but now has been opened. An alternate bridge has been made. Road towards Lachen is still badly damaged. Lachen to Thangu also, which is further north towards North Sikkim, where we have our troops, has a temporary bridge has been made. Numerous bridges have been swept away, and the access to these areas are through lengthy detours. What is being done for a temporary relief is that where these bridges were washed away, temporary bridges, bailey bridges, wooden bridges, etc. are being built so that communication can be restored to an extent. But March we start our pre-monsoon season, and we would be having thunder showers from that time onwards, and our peak monsoon starts somewhere around June, and July is the peak monsoon month. So that is the time that we expect heavy showers, and we do not know what is the condition of these temporary bridges which will be there, and what will be the state of our communication lines at that point of time. Impact on urban settings. This is a part of the Teesta Bazaar, which is close to the river. The river has come to close to these areas. And this was a relief center which was there. I visited this area multiple times, and we have seen that there were nine odd families who were settled here. But as you can see, this entire area is sinking. This part of Teesta Bazaar is sinking, and what happens during the monsoons is another big question mark. This is another area which is towards the TLDP, Teesta Low Dam Project 3. It's a place called Glacial, which is very, very badly affected. One of the myths which again have emerged in this is that this was a Sikkim flood. It was a Teesta River flood. It affected both Sikkim. Of course, Sikkim was worse affected because it was closer to the GLOF. But areas in West Bengal, Kalimpong district were also badly affected. In fact, areas much further south were also affected towards Jalpaiguri even. So this was Gelkola, where 9 to 10 houses were submerged by the GLOF. This was a young man whom we interviewed. He worked for the Aircon, for a company, private company working with the Aircon. This is where they stayed. Some 12 odd people used to stay here, and the entire area was submerged and covered. And we asked him why they hadn't started excavating this area, and he told us that they have been told not to excavate because of fear of explosives. Yes, the army lost considerable amount of explosives and gear further up in Sikkim, uh, both in Chungtang as well as further up. So these areas, this young man told us, we have been told not to dig out us and see whether we've got anything left inside, because he was worried about his documents, etc., which were lost. But then they were forbidden to dig up anything here because of fear of explosives. This is Gelkola in Kalimpong district. This was a photograph of Rampu, impact on settlements. Rampu we visited very close to the GLOF as soon as we could. A GLOF took place on the 4th. We were here photographing this area in Sikkim. On the 6th morning, we spent the entire day there in Rampu and a place called Mamring, which is opposite Rampu. And you can see how much of how many of the buildings were affected. This is in a colony called IBM colony in Rampu. There were literally hundreds of houses, small houses, which were here, shanty town, bazaar, which were there. These houses were totally gone. They were swept away, and in place there was something like this, where there was a huge flat area with the sludge, and it looked like a football field, but in actual fact this was the IBM colony in Rampu. And this was much later. We visited Rampu many times, and this is much later when the excavation was taking place. So you can see that parts of the building have been restored. I mean, the mud has been removed, but much of the area is still being covered, covered by mud. This is again the Naga village, which is there between Chungtang and Mangan, and badly affected by landslides, badly affected areas, and people from here have simply moved away. This is Singtam again, very badly affected. Both Singtam consists of two places, Lal Bazar and Golitar. Both areas were very, very badly damaged by the GLOF. A huge business area in Sikkim. This is what Singtam is. But people have again started recovering from this area. We visited this place again and found this area. Some areas have been restored, but still the relentless movement of heavy vehicles dumping sand back into the river, which is bad, because the river now has got so much of sludge, and that sludge is settling down further downstream, and the river bed is increasing everywhere. So the other impacts was that the river bed has gone up by about 3 to 4 meters. Embankments are certainly required, but I don't know whether it can be made during the time that is available. So during the time that the roads were closed, the Mangan truck, as I mentioned, used to cost double the amount. Cost of things escalated. Lachen was still cut off. Many homes are now very close to these areas which are weakened, and which would, therefore, these people would require relocation. Perhaps we should be looking into these areas where we can shift these areas, shift these people. Health and trauma of the people who have lost their homes, etc., have to be looked into. Large parts of agricultural land have also gone, and also there is a huge damage to the forest wealth of this area. The Teesta River, as I said repeatedly, is now flowing much higher. Many of our towns are closer to the Teesta River. It is not that the towns were already close. It was that the river has now changed its path and now flows closer to these populated areas. NH10 is very much weakened at many places, so alternate routes are to be seen. livelihoods are gone, and many are homeless. So this is the impact of the GLOF. So in my question to everybody is this, that with the state of the area, as we have mentioned, the impact in so many different aspects, how do we face the monsoons of 2024 when so much of the country, so many parts of the country, including these areas, will be immersed and diverted by the elections? We do not know what will happen to these areas which we have mentioned, and that is our biggest concern. All these things, you can perhaps find detailed accounts in our blog. Do have a look at the blog, and our email address, contact address, everything is there. So do contact us if required. Thank you so much.